Nice job outplaying your opponent in the endgame. You might expect this first move, but be careful of variations that might catch you off guard. A dynamic, flexible response. You're opening up avenues for your dark squared bishop, attacking the center and opening up their bishops in one move. That doesn't help development and creates holes around your king. Their best option was to develop a bishop and attack the center. This lets your bishop step into the game. They bring out their knight, increasing their control over the center, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. Their bishop moves into the game. You gained control of more squares with this excellent knight move. That's playable. This move leads to losing a pawn. Now you have to double pawns. A logical capture. This seems like a mistake to me. This is the only move that works, and you found it. You kick the check. They move the queen to safety. You had a better option, but this is not bad. Their bishop comes into play, supporting the center. Develops the knight and supports the center. This move doesn't help their position at all. Developing is good and even better with that tempo on a queen. The queen slips away as black avoids material loss. This move doesn't hurt you much, but it doesn't help either. A straightforward recapture. Good job, that's what I would have played too. They castled kingside, placing their king in a safer spot away from the center. You offered your opponent the chance to trade off equal material. You are now able to force isolated doubled pawns. You are forcing your opponent to have isolated doubled pawns, which ruins a clear recapture. Your better option was to attack the bishop with a pawn. They are right on target. Connecting your rooks is a great way to help them work together. That's not a mistake, but they did not find the best move here. Well done, an excellent move. You get a chance to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. Taking that pawn will win material for you after the follow-up trades. A straightforward recapture. A clear recapture. Your opponent moves their knight to escape your attack. This move is okay, but not what I would have played. They kick your bishop with a pawn, forcing it to move or be captured. Your move puts your bishop on an unsafe square. They missed a chance to capture a free bishop. This moves your bishop to a safer square. They played one of the best moves here. Great, you've developed your last piece, completing your setup. I like their choice. Nice idea. You connected your pawns into a chain. They exchange pieces of equal value. You recapture the piece. You get a chance to take an outpost with a bishop. You made a passed pawn. Takes back. Your best move was to take an outpost with a bishop. You permitted the opponent to activate a bishop. Their move is losing material. By adding an attacker, you make the threat on the pawn much stronger. A clear recapture. Discovered checks can be powerful. They move their king out of the check from your rook. Not the best move, but not bad either. This pawn move gives their bishop more control over the board. Your rook takes an open file, a good way to activate the rook. Their best option was to sacrifice exchange to increase the activity of the remaining pieces. You are now able to activate a rook by getting it to the 7th rank. You have an isolated pawn, which can be a weakness. Your better option was to activate a rook by getting it to the 7th rank. Their pawn is now isolated, lacking support from neighboring pawns. You get a chance to activate a rook by getting it to the 7th rank. Your best move was to activate a rook by getting it to the 7th rank. They made one of the top moves in this position. You step your king away from the checking bishop. You are now able to threaten checkmate. Your best move was to threaten checkmate. They played one of the best moves here. You dodge the check, moving your king out of harm's way. Your opponent attacks 2 pieces at once with his fork. You step your king away from the checking rook. You get a chance to checkmate the king. You missed an opportunity to checkmate the king. That was the only move. You continue the checkmate attack. They've placed their knight on a strong outpost, where it can't be challenged by a pawn, getting closer to the forced checkmate. They've improved the positioning of their piece. You're continuing down the road to checkmate. That was the only move. You're still on the road to checkmate. Their king steps away from the check by your rook. You had a checkmate, but this lets your opponent out of immediate danger. You are now able to checkmate the king. Always feels nice to win.